What is the deal, you guys? It is your girl Fallon Favors. Yes, back again for another episode of the Baby Mama Chronicles. I just want to start off by saying thank you. Thank you for your subscribes. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your shares, your comments. I appreciate you guys. We are growing. We are expanding. If you have not already subscribed, make sure you do that now. You're going to love the content. We come in straight, no chase for 2021. I'm telling everybody that every video. I love you guys so much. Ring the notification bell so that way you can also be aware of when I drop new content, when I have new videos coming up. Share and comment, y'all. I want to know if this info relates to y'all, if the content that I'm dropping speaks to your heart, because that's what it's really for. We ain't getting paid for this, baby. Not yet. Speaking to existence, but we are not getting paid for this yet. We're doing this as a labor of love to be able to connect to one another and really be able to spread love and just connect us, unite us. You know, we just doing black love, black excellence type shit. Y'all know what time it is. Boop. You guys know that I'm always doing super serious videos. If you saw some of the last ones I did, why your baby daddy hates you, girl. You know, Instagram is a killing our self-esteem, like really heavy-weighted topics. And I think those are important to talk about because it's relative and this is really going on and we cannot hide what's really happening. We need to, you know, focus on all things positive and negative, light and dark. But today, baby, she has her wine. Okay, cheers to 2021. Cheers to all my baby mamas, BM gang. Y'all already know what time it is. I know y'all in here. We're going to talk about something super fun, one of my favorite topics to discuss, and that is astrology. Yes, for those people be like, okay, you're an astrology hoe. I do feel like I'm an astrology hoe. Okay, it is not my religion and it's not my science. You know, I don't really subscribe to anything wholeheartedly without any kind of question or opposing view. I feel there's always loopholes in everything. And I think honestly, really astrology is just another science and way for us to be able to understand each other and relate to each other. Do I believe it as gospel? Do I believe anything as gospel, religion, spirituality, or otherwise? No, because guess what? We're all just winging it. Nobody knows exactly what's going on as far as the realms we live in, what God, if God is a man and or a woman, where we go when we die. We don't know none of it. We're just guessing. So again, I preface this video, you know, that I'm going to do with that information. Because, you know, you have a lot of skeptics, child. Astrology, you know, if a girl talk about what's my zodiac sign, bitch, get out my car and woo, woo, woo. What people don't know is that some of the richest people in the world, some of the most successful people in the world use astrology to do some of the biggest business deals that the world has ever seen. In orchestrating their marriages, the business relations. You know, it's a lot stronger and deeper than you think. And for those that are also misinformed as far as astrology, if you really get into the science behind it, this is why it's really important for anybody who really wants to kind of see what the stars, how the stars were aligned when they were born and how that really affects their life. You need to know that your time of birth. Now, a lot of y'all ghetto ass babies don't even got your birth certificate, so you ain't gonna be able to do it while you talking shit, so it don't even pertain to you. When you can find that birth certificate, then maybe we can get some information cracking, okay? Otherwise, it's gonna be really, really difficult. But if you know your date of birth and your time of birth, excuse me, I don't know if I said that before. If you know your time of birth, you have to know both. That is also what distinguishes you from, let's say I'm an Aries, right? And there's another girl that's an Aries. We could be born the same day. And people will be like, well, I don't act like that. We're totally different. You have other aspects to your being, okay? Your time, the time of your birth makes the difference between you and that other Aries, okay? You got your sun sign, you got your moon sign, you got your rising sign, you got your Mercury, you got your Venus, you got your, it's deep. Okay, if you dare, there's a funny thing I found on Twitter where it shows kind of like the astrological wheel and the degrees. Literally, you guys, it is science. When astronomy, I believe, was created, astrology was part and parcel with astronomy, which astronomy we still use today as a science. There are, you know, principles and laws in that realm that we still use in our everyday as far as just the stars, the alignments and all of that stuff. Astrology was right there with it, okay? So don't get fooled, okay? By a lot of the hype and the this and the that. This could potentially really, really help you. And if you really be honest, it is quite interesting that a lot of the characteristics that are assigned to a lot of these signs, a lot of them be true. A lot of them be true. It just so happens, you know, that a lot of them be true or whatever. But this is just fun. If you hear you too uptight and you too serious and then get the catch me on my next one, because I bet you I have something for that ass, okay? But for those that want to hang and chill, we're going to get into this astrology shit. Okay, you would think that Capricorn, which is at the beginning of the year, which is like late December, early January, would be the first person in the astrological like timeline, but actually it's not. The first one is actually Aries. Aries is the baby of the Zodiac. The Zodiac calendar starts with Aries, and they are the baby. And child, let me tell you, I think Aries are true to their nature and to their name of being the baby. Everything with Aries is all about self, me. Before I even start thinking about you and what's going on with you, I have to think about me, okay? Aries, I believe, is ruled by Mars. Now, these people are fire signs. So, you know, and I don't know all of this. So, girl, this is ghetto astrology. I don't know all the modalities. I don't know if they're fixed, cardinal. I believe they're cardinal. Y'all can check me. Drop it in the comments if you know for sure. That, I don't know. The modalities and stuff like that, again, it gets deep. But I do know that Aries are fire signs. And they are, you know, they are what they are. Selfish. I'm sorry to start y'all off like that, Aries. I'm so sorry. You know, kind of self-absorbed because they're the baby. You think about being the baby of your family. Everybody caters to you. Everybody is waiting to see what the baby is going to do. You know, everybody is bringing gifts and love and attention for the baby. And the baby knows that. The baby knows how to get away with certain stuff that, you know, the rest of the family can't, or the other siblings can't get away with. Aries knows this, and this is kind of how they move through life. They kind of charm their way through life, knowing that they can kind of like get in and out of situations and kind of get that pass because people love them. You know what I mean? Personal experiences with Aries. I've had some really, one of my first boyfriends, my first love was an Aries. Shout out to Silver Spring, Maryland. A very strong-willed and passionate and you know, just kind of stand out. You're gonna notice in Aries too, you know, that any kind of fire sign, when they show up in the room, you're gonna know. You know, they just command that attention. It is what it is. They letting their presence be known. They are a fierce force to be reckoned with. I would not advise fucking with no Aries unless it's on a need-be basis, unless they completely out of pocket and you gotta, you know, gather that. If you don't have to gather them, or if you gather them, make sure that you're ready for what come with that, because Aries is not no game. They not no joke. They not no game. I also had a really close friend growing up through school, and it's so funny. Aries can be so mean. So when I met my friend when I was in high school, my Aries friend, we lived across the street from one another. And so, you know, she would come and hang out in front of my little stoop with the other, you know, neighborhood kids and stuff like that, but we hadn't really been introduced. And she was just so mean at first. So she would just kind of like poke fun at me and almost try to intimidate me. I feel like Aries get a rise out of intimidating people. They kind of have that presence where, again, they step in the room, they command attention or whatever, you know that they're there. And Aries can kind of be bullies a little bit. Let's be honest, Aries, you kind of know, you kind of throw your weight around or whatever because you can, you know, and I think some of them kind of find humor in that. And I don't think that it's ever really malicious. It's just the nature of who they are. And they also do that with their lovers. So like if it's a person that they like, they also will be mean to them too, right? But they really just trying to get your attention, you know what I'm saying? Or trying to poke at you to kind of see how much you can take because it's like fun to them, right? And so she would be mean to me or whatever, child. I say probably within like a month, we was like thick as thieves. You know what I'm saying? And that was my roadie all the way up until we really got grown. Like we was like rolling together. You know what I mean? Had my back if it was ready to go to war. You know what I'm saying? And I think Mars is like the planet of war and battle and things like that or whatever. So baby, when it was time to bang, it was time to go, she was ready to go at all times. Even before I could get to the situation, she was running to the situation. And that's what an Aries is gonna do for you, male and female. If I gave y'all a tip on what to work on, understand that, you know, being soft, being demure, being kind of being less reactive, thinking before you speak, thinking of others before yourself can definitely help you in the long range goals that you may have in life. Just soften up. You do not have to be that tough. Trust me, we already know you ready to bang. We know you ready to go to war. A lot of people may even call you on that bluff because they ready too. But you know, who knows what kind of situations that may land you in. You know what I mean? It's kind of like use that as a resource if you have to. Use that as a last resort. You know what I'm saying? There are so many other ways to conflict resolve, to get to know people, to, you know, get people to notice you. You know what I mean? You don't have to lead with that. It's okay to kind of lead with the softer parts of your being. You know what I mean? Period. Next on the astrological timeline would be Taurus. Taurus. I have a super big love for Taurus people. My grandmother, God rest her soul, was a Taurus and we were very close. My daughter, my baby girl, is a Taurus as well. And baby, they are just, you know, you can't help but to love a Taurus. You know what I'm saying? You just can't help it. Taurus people are multifaceted. Like when I think of Taurus, I think of jack of all trades. A Taurus knows how to do a little bit of everything. A Taurus might know how to change their oil. A Taurus might know how to do hair, might know how to slick a ponytail back, baby. Put a little hair on that ponytail, make some clothes, cook some food. You know what I'm saying? They take care of kids. They know how to, you know, deal with animals. They, you know what I'm saying? Deal with plants. They love plants, plant life or whatever. They could be adventurous. Well, I'm about to say adventurous. Maybe not adventurous. Maybe I'm going too far. Taurus people are very, very cautious. So adventurous is probably not the right word for a Taurus. Tauruses are very practical, you know, routine. You know, I like to know what I'm doing. What are the details? Let me know ahead of time. If you do not, there will be hell to pay for that. Do not rush me into anything. I need to know the scope of the whole situation, child, before I get involved, or it may be a problem. I'm just letting you know that up front. I kind of jumped the gun. But just, you know, again, going into all of the, they're just a jack of all trades. They know how to do so many different things and they know how to do them well. So it's one thing to kind of like feel like you can have your hand in all these different pots, but like, how successful are you in executing those things? How skillful are you in those areas? And they are very smart, very talented, very artsy, very creative. And, you know, that's just one of the gifts I think the guy gave them. I think Venus rules Taurus, which Venus is about beauty, you know, all things that look good, feel good. Taurus also rules all of the senses that we have. So sight, smell, sound, taste, touch. They are, which is why all of the different things or whatever that look good, smell good, feel good, taste good, honey, they're all about it. They are all about it. And I have a Taurus moon as well. So I definitely relate to that. And, you know, it's just about plush things, opulence, feel good things, things that make you comfortable, things that make you warm. Tauruses are just about that lifestyle, baby. Fabulosity at its finest, okay? That's what they're about. Tauruses are also, I think everybody knows this. And again, for those that don't believe in astrology, isn't it kind of ironic that mostly all the Tauruses that you probably know are stubborn as, like, you cannot push a Taurus into doing anything. It's not going to happen. You are wasting your time. You know, I have to find different ways to get my daughter to do the things that I know she needs to do. You would think, okay, I'm her mother. You know, whatever I say goes. You need to hop on it as soon as I say, right? You would think, baby, I have to find different ways to go about it, because at the end of the day, even if she's not talking back or being disrespectful, she's still gonna be moving at her own pace. Like, I'll get it done, but it's still gonna be done in my time. You can't rush a Taurus into anything. Very stubborn, very bullheaded. You know what I'm saying? I'm right. Clearly, the only way that this situation could turn out is from my POV, because my POV is right. I'm not saying that it's, you know, I'm not being mad at you because you're wrong, but I just want you to understand that I'm right. You know what I mean? It's certain signs, y'all. I'm gonna give you them signs. Aries is one of them. Stay out of Aries' way. Try not to have no beef with no Aries, no funk with no Aries. They ready. They was born to bang. So if you know, you want to fight, you like to fight. Certain people like to fight, argue and get into it. That's another thing about Aries too. They let's argue, but I digress. You know, don't do it. Taurus, don't do it. Don't do it. If, you know, just make sure you got your facts straight. Make sure you got it right, because Taurus is also very careful in how they move. So, you know, they're going to do what makes the most sense. They're probably not going to be caught up in a lot of bullshit, because, you know, if it doesn't make sense for them to be in it, they're not going to be in it. If it's not affecting their money, their family, which I feel like they are very staunchly protective over their family, their loved ones. They will fight and go to war for their family, period. Their loved ones, you know, don't mess with none of them. But if it's not nothing that's that serious, they have other stuff to do. They're creating or whatever, but just do not make them angry. If you make them angry and you do too much, you know, you may have to deal with the wrath of Taurus. I think it's a bull represents a Taurus. Have you seen a bull when it's mad? In the ring with the red flag and all of that? Trust me, baby. You know, Taurus men are the hardest working men that you know. A man's man, child. If you're looking for a man's man, a man that's going to go out again, fix your car, you know what I'm saying? But he also might be able to cook and make you a nice, you know, meal, you know what I'm saying? Little salmon, little teriyaki salmon, some rice and veggies, you know what I mean? He may be able to do that with a nice glass of wine, you know what I'm saying? He probably dresses well, smells nice or whatever. He can work with his hands, baby. A man's man. If you're looking for a man's man, Taurus is your man. They can be a little boring. They're so used to just their routine, right? They're into their routine. So it's probably not going to be a whole lot of spice, you know what I mean? And just unexpected trips and this, that, and the third. But when it's time for gifts and when it's time for that kind of stuff, you won't be disappointed. You know, you'll be happy, you know, and that Taurus is not going to go nowhere. That Taurus is going to be loyal to the soil. All Tauruses are very, very loyal. You know, you're not about to break because they're stubborn and they fixed. So once they decide that you are a worthy person to be in their circle and to have in their lives, that's it. You're cemented. You know what I mean? Kiss, the mob kiss or whatever. You in. Ain't no getting out. Like, that's how Taurus is. And if I had something to say for Taurus, if I had to give Taurus some advice, it would definitely be to take more risks. Taurus, trust yourself. You are so talented. God gave you gifts that none of the other signs may be able to have access to without really, really, really trying to work at it. You were born with all of these gifts. You were born with all of these skills and trades. Learn to have more confidence in those skills. Learn to take more risk with those skills. Take more risk with people, with going places, meeting people, networking, traveling, doing things outside of the box. Like, this will help further your potential and help put your skills on the platform that it deserves so that people can be aware of all of the things that you do. Like, it's important that you do that. It's definitely going to help you evolve into the person you were meant to be. Okay. Next on the list would be Gemini. Ooh, Gemini. I feel for Gemini because Gemini, along with Scorpio, have like probably the worst reputation in the zodiac. I mean, we have warning signs on our back. You know what I'm saying? Like, Geminis are, you know, some of the greatest to ever do it. Y'all got to give credit to the fact that they have been Geminis. You know, your Biggie Smalls, your Tupac Shakurs, your Kanye West, when Kanye was Kanye. A perfect example too, baby, because you dealing with two people, two individuals in one, okay? Not like a split, like a half and a half, but like literally two different people in one, or, you know, in one entity or one spirit, maybe sharing one spirit, but two different people, you know, sharing one spirit. You know, and Geminis are very kind of perplexing. I know Geminis are air signs. Also, I didn't say about Taurus. Taurus are earth signs or whatever, just so you know. But which is why they're so grounded, down to earth and all that kind of stuff. I'm mixing a lot of it up. I told you, this is not going to be one of them videos that y'all see and everything is all clean cut and we do one by one by one, honey. We just shooting the shit about astrology, okay? So don't come for me. Geminis are air signs and they really live true to that. Air signs are people that literally live in the clouds. They refuse to be weighted down by life's worries, troubles, you know what I'm saying? Emotional kind of things. Like, they are thinking, they are up in the clouds. They are, you know, they're up here as far as just like the body or whatever. I feel like if it was like a body thing, they're in their minds. They're way up here at the top, the highest parts possible. They're trying to float to the top, you know what I'm saying? And see what that's like and see what that's about. And I think that definitely represents Gemini as well. Geminis have a way with words. They are the #1 communicators in the zodiac period. You're not going to out-talk a Gemini. You're not going to find a better person able to really articulate what it is that they're trying to say, which is why they are the natural poets of the zodiac. You know, all of your favorite rappers, Kendrick Lamar, you know, a lot of these people are Geminis because they just have a way with words. You know what I'm saying? And Kendrick especially, like, you know, he just be playing with words, playing around with it. Like, they have something in which their heart and mind connect in a way that they're able to spit it from their mouth so accurately, you know. And Mercury rules Gemini, and I know Mercury is the communication planet, which is why when people talk about Mercury retrograde and stuff like that, when Mercury, the planet, is actually, I believe, orbiting in the opposite direction, kind of backwards, because it's the planet of communication. That means a lot of technology, communication, and the way that things function end up kind of going haywire too. I'll probably maybe do another video on Mercury retrograde. I want to do some more research on that, but I know everybody's talking about, what's the retrograde? It's the retrograde, y'all. I'm sure it's some science and some depth to that too that I'm not really privy to, so I'm not gonna try to speak on that like I'm an expert about that. And Geminis just always have something dope to say. They have something dope to talk about. There is no, you know how you have conversations with people sometimes and there's kind of like a dead spot in the conversation and you kind of like, you don't have to do that with Gemini. Gemini is gonna keep that conversation flowing. You don't even have to even worry about that because they're going to do enough talking for you and for them. They're going to be able to keep, hot topics and skip, they hear. But only the strong survive with a Gemini in that sense, because if you're not able to mentally keep up and they kind of have to keep pulling you along through the conversation and explaining things, stopping in the path of them kind of floating in the sky, and they kind of keep stopping and grab you and pull you back up with them so that way you can stay on the same page, that's going to get boring to them and you probably will be replaced as a friend, lover, business partner, whatever. If you can't keep up, you'll probably get left behind. And these people are very intellectual, very intelligent signs. So again, if you're not going to be able to keep up, then you probably won't last. And I think also for like the men too, specific, well, for the men and for the women, it definitely in their love life. If you can't keep up, baby, intellectually, they gonna run circles around your ass. Not only are they going to, because some of them might keep you around just because you're amusing to them. And Geminis are known to play mind games. They will, and again, it's kind of like how Aries are with they knowing that they kind of have that intimidation factor about them. They kind of use that to their advantage and they play on it or whatever, not maliciously, but kind of like, shut the fuck, shut up. Gemini is kind of like, oh, okay, so why did you think that? And okay, really? That's funny that you say that. I mean, you got to watch what you say. They are dissecting it and they just sharp, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like, they may keep you around just because you're amusing to them. Just because you, it's fun to see you scrambling, you know what I'm saying? But not because they really have any type of intention with you in any kind of way other than just kind of like bleeding your ass if that's what they choose to do. So Geminis, you got to be real careful, y'all, and that's kind of, I think, why Gemini gets the bad rap, because they are so cunning, and so it's like some people get bitter because they couldn't keep up and they feel like, oh, Gemini is an asshole, or Gemini is no, baby, you probably just couldn't keep up. You probably didn't have the pace that Gemini needed, you know what I mean? Oh, baby, you are literally dealing with two different people. Baby, for the women, when you were in bed with your Gemini man, you were sleeping between two men, girl. You are getting a train ran on you, girl, and you don't even know. People get put off because it's like, okay, my nigga, you was literally one person yesterday. Who is you that's coming to the door today? Like, nigga, you need to start naming these people so at least there can be some type of identification, flow or something like that, just to help me kind of understand where you coming from. Like, literally, you're dealing with two different people. And you have to know that going into it. And if you are the woman that's dealing with that Gemini man, you have to find a way to know them both. You got to love them both. You got to know them both. You have to accept them both. You have to learn what both, what makes both tick. You're dealing with two men. You literally have two men to tend to. And it would be the same for the women. You know what I'm saying? Dudes, you got two women that you need to tend to. So Geminis are not for the faint of heart. You got to have your bootstraps, laced up, strapped up. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to take you on that ride. But I feel like Geminis are that sign that helps you, think out the box. Things that you never thought that you would do, could think. They will definitely help you change your perspective and get you kind of out of that sense of normalcy and kind of just, that boredom. Because Geminis are fun. So that's the last thing I say about it. Geminis are so fun. Like, you are not going to be bored with a Gemini because they're always like this and they just moving. They just fun. Like, you're not going to be bored with them. If I had any advice for Gemini, it probably would be, don't be afraid of the darkness. Because Geminis are so light, because Geminis don't really like to be down on the ground, they want to be up floating in the air. When you start talking about things that are weighted, that are heavy, when you start talking about things that really matter on the emotional scale, on the physical scale, as far as the 3D realm, the earthly realm that we exist in, they don't really feel comfortable in that space. They don't feel comfortable talking about morbid things, death, anything that's too serious, heartbreak, tragedy, betrayal, anything that's kind of heavily weighted like that, baby, they don't want nothing to do with it. But I think y'all have to understand that that's a part of life. And, you know, getting closer to those spaces and places are going to ultimately help you grow. Don't be afraid of those things. You know what I mean? You have to get in touch with those darker parts of self and even in other people to really kind of get into the full, you know, scope of what life is all about, which is duality. Light, dark, up, down, left, right, sun, moon, you know what I mean? Yin, yang, like get into it. Like you need to definitely be able to be well-versed in both. Okay, so next on the timeline would be Cancer. Shout out to all my Cancer babies. Oh, my fellow water sign. Those are my sister signs, all of my water signs. Cancer. Baby, Cancer is the mother of the Zodiac. Whether that's a male or a female. Of course, we're not talking about like sex related. Just the take care of. I will take care of you. I will house you, you know, clothe you, feed you, nurture you, nurse you back to health, you know, swaddle you in my arms, comfort you, protect you from harm's way. That's what Cancer does. That's what Cancer does for everybody in the Zodiac. They are the mothers of the Zodiac. They rule the home. I believe the moon rules Cancer. Which the moon is our mother for all of y'all that don't know. Okay, get into it. They just are so nurturing and caregiving and warm and loving, and they have such an intense reserve of love for everybody that they come around. You know what I mean? They are just, I don't know, they just represent love to me, you know, just really like just that truly that motherly love, almost like that unconditional love. That's what Cancer is. The animal associated with Cancer though is the crab, you know, and so it's funny with all of the loving and, you know, sweet natures of, you know, Cancer. It's a reason why crabs are associated with Cancer. Cancer is one of the true personifications of don't get it fucked up. Okay, don't get it fucked up. Snap at your ass. Very fierce if you emotionally scar them or hurt them. If you hurt their feelings, Cancer is all about the feels. Any kind of water sign is going to be about the feels. You know, just all emotional based. Okay, they are very psychic. Cancers, you can't really hide anything from any of the water signs, really. They all kind of have that intuitive nature to them. They're going to sense if you're bullshitting, all of them really, but Cancers really kind of have that psychic thing going on where it's kind of like, I know what you're probably going to do before you do it. If something happens and there's a lineup of people and we need to figure out who did it, I already know who did it. You know, it was you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like they kind of just know. And if you hurt them in any way or you betray them in any way, or because they're so sweet and they know this, you know, it makes them feel good to be able to love on people like that. And it doesn't take much, you know, from them or out of them because they were born to give love in that way. So if you betray them or you take that kindness for weakness, they will come at you and they will come at you hard. And it may not be like the way the Aries would, where it's just straight up to your face or whatever, like what's happening, you know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be like, I'm gonna make you feel what you did. You're gonna feel what you did. I will seek revenge on you. They say that Scorpios are all about the revenge. No, Cancer will seek revenge on your ass too. They will get even. They will find a way to match it up and get even. And usually, cause see a Scorpio, we'll get to Scorpios, baby, because I know all about it, right? We wait. We have the patience to wait for the revenge. The revenge might not be until years down the line. Cancer, baby, it's coming. Expect it in the next 2 weeks. You know, if it was some shit that went down, if it was some shit that went down recently, baby, you know, next 30 days, be on watch. Be on watch. And it's probably gonna come quick. It's probably, so just be prepared. Just keep your head on the swivel, you know. Cancers don't want to be taken advantage of. I think their biggest fear is that someone will take their kindness for weakness. You know, and, you know, when you see them into that light, once you get them onto that other side, I think they really have to love you and care about you for them to bounce back to that loving person that they was. Because they don't also like to bring out that side of themselves. They don't want to be in that space. That's not where they're comfortable. They want to be at home. They also rule the home. Cancers like being at home with their family, tucked in, watching a movie, eating some food, drinking something, chilling, you know, no stress, no, you know, they just want to be in that loving space. That's it. So if you bring that bullshit to them, or you take their kindness for weakness or whatever, they gonna show you a part of them that they really didn't even want to show. You gonna make them tap into a certain part of themselves that they don't even want to be. They also may not let you know that you did something to hurt their feelings. You might just feel it. They might just ghost your ass. You know, they're not going to tell you. There's a lot of signs that will tell you, like, I don't like what you did. You know what I'm saying? Capricorn, I think, is one of those people. It's a couple of others. A lot of the earth signs. Virgo gonna tell you, I don't like what you said. You know what I'm saying? Hello? Cancer, get off. Cancer, get on your ass. You know what I'm saying? So just don't take Cancer, you know, Cancer's kindness for weakness. It's not a good idea. You know, but if you're lucky enough to be with a Cancer, you know, especially in a relationship setting or whatever, just cherish your Cancer. Because it's nothing that they're not going to do to keep you happy. Because they kind of rule the emotions and that kind of thing. Like, some people may say they're too emotional, you know, too clingy, which they can be, you know, because they want to be in love so bad. They do it so well. So they just love being in that space. But they're going to love you unconditionally. They're going to be there for you when you're sad. You know what I'm saying? When you don't like really showing that sadness to other people in the world, they're going to get it. They're going to understand. They're going to empathize with you. They're not going to make you feel bad for shedding a tear or expressing yourself about how you feel, about how scared you are, about how sad you are, fearful, whatever. They're going to have your back emotionally. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to leave you in the dark to feel like, you know, and they're not going to be scared of those emotions either. They're going to open you just like mama would. That everything is going to be all right and that kind of thing. And that's what Cancer is going to do. This one thing that I would have to say about Cancer, or one tip that I would have for Cancer, it would be stop holding those grudges, y'all. Now listen, baby, I can hold a grudge, okay? I'm here for the grudge holding. If the grudge holding is necessary, sometimes I feel like grudge holding is necessary. People sometimes give up on that too easy. If it's something that somebody did that is completely out of pocket, unless you set those boundaries to let them know that they did something that's out of pocket or whatever, they'll just keep doing it, especially to you. So sometimes I'm here for the grudge, but sometimes Cancer, baby, can hold it too long. And you know, sometimes it's just outdated, and it kind of just puts a strong hold on you. You know, it takes a lot of energy to keep a grudge held. It takes a lot of energy out of you to consciously not fuck with somebody, or consciously be mean to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, learn to let stuff go. Learn to make peace with it. Making peace with it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have these people around you on your everyday today. That is not what that means. What it means is that you have to release the emotional attachment that you have to it. If they hurt you, if they hurt your feelings, if they said something that you didn't like, if they betrayed you, if they whatever, let that shit go. Cut them off if you need to, but let the emotional part of it go, because it's going to end up tearing you down inside. That toxic energy kind of just, you know, it just lingers within your being and in your body or whatever, and it doesn't feel good. You know, replace those with relationships and experiences and people that fill you up, that make you happy, that don't take your kindness for weakness, that really respect and really honor the genuine person that you are. You know what I'm saying? That's what you need to do as far as that's concerned. But let some of those grudges go, y'all, for real. All right, y'all. Y'all ready? Leos, baby. What is wrong with y'all? First, can we just, we just gonna come up. What is wrong with y'all? What is the problem, Leos? What is it? What's tea? What is y'all whole thing? You know what I mean? I'm just playing. Like, I don't feel like Leos are the most hated. I feel like really, so I won't say that you guys are the most hated. But maybe you guys are the sign that people love to hate the most, if that makes sense. Like, you know, I love Leos. I love Leo people. I love the energies that Leo possess. Off the bat, Leo is ruled by the sun. Leos are almost like kings and queens. They are kings and queens. It's not almost like, they are kings and queens. They are the kings and queens and royalty of the Zodiac, okay? Lion rules their sign. You know what I'm saying? Kings of the jungle. It was born to them. You know what I'm saying? It's in them, not on them. They can't help it. They can't help it. They were born this way. You know, if anybody watches The Crown, which I love The Crown, that comes on Netflix, one of my favorite shows on Netflix. which is basically based on Queen Elizabeth. And one of the biggest underlying themes of the whole show is, of course, everything is just about the crown. There's nothing that takes precedence over the crown. Nobody's feelings, emotions, situations, nothing, nobody is bigger than the program, but with all of they rule the world, you know what I mean? With all of the advantages that they have and power and, kind of just all knowing, all being, and the praise and the elevation above everybody else that they get, it's a lot that comes with that. It's a lot that comes with that, more than which most people would be able to bear. Everybody wants to be the king and the queen. Everybody wants to be royal. Everybody wants to be the one running the show. But do you have what it takes to withstand the scrutiny, the judgment, the feelings of helplessness? Who does the king go to? You know what I'm saying? If it's somebody on the street and they struggling with their rent or struggling to pay their bills or whatever, they probably got a couple of people that can reach out to assist. Potentially, who the king gonna go to? Who does the king and the queen go to when they have an issue? You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. So it's just that burden of being the center of the universe, that comes with something. If it's one thing that I've learned about our life on this planet, you guys, because I'm super, super, super into that. It's just about learning life's lessons, because I think it helps us move through life a lot easier and transition through life a lot easier without so many hiccups, without so many, bumps and things like that. You are not going to get something for nothing. In this universe, it's a give and take, and it's an exchange. And people can say like, oh, I'm just going to pray and pray and pray and pray and pray to manifest this, or I'm going to meditate, or I'm going to, in order to manifest this, you are going to have to give something up. You're going to have to discipline yourself to sacrifice something or something. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if you are the center of the universe, it's going to be something that y'all have to give up for that. And they need a lot of reassurance. They need a lot of love and support. They will never ask for it. They're never going to ask for it. A Leo not going to ask you for shit. If you have a Leo in your life, call the Leo in your life. You kind of have to know what Leo needs without them having to ask. And if you do happen to be one of those people that has a Leo in your life, male or female, where they can depend on you to be there for them in ways where they don't have to say verbally what they need, and you just show up, they gonna ride hard. And that's one thing about Leo too. Leos are very generous. Leos are very giving. They will give the shirts and clothes off of their back. They're gonna do things for other people that people would never do for them. That's another thing that makes them insecure. It makes them feel like, okay, well, nobody loves me. Nobody cares about me, because they gonna go big. And they want people to love them so much. They want the love that they receive from people to be genuine. So they're willing to be a real, genuine person in order to get that real, genuine love back. You know what I'm saying? Leo is gonna be the person that you may ain't talk to this Leo in 6 months, and you stranded on the side of the road somewhere. They might be on their last dollar. And then you call the Leo and be like, man, I'm stranded, bro, or I'm stranded, sis. Like, can you woo, woo, woo? Leo will probably spot you and help you out. Leos are also the best dressed. It's just the way that God made them, y'all. I apologize. I'm sorry. Like, it's just the way that God made them. They are best dressed. You're not going to outdress a Leo. You're not, and just so you know, you're not going to outdress a Leo. It's rare. Taurus might have some kind, it's certain signs, Taurus, Libra. They might give Leo a run for their money. You know what I'm saying? But Leo is going to show up, baby, and show out. And you might as well not even try to step into that arena. You know what I'm saying? I am a Leo ascendant, by the way. You're not going to outdress them. You're not going to outshow them. You're not going to show them up. Not on the stage. Not when it's time to show up. When it's time to step out and go out and be on the scene, you might as well just stay in your pocket. Do your thing. Do your thing, please. Okay? Rest in peace to Nip. And think about it, like, y'all, Nipsey Hussle, for all of my LA people, was a Leo. I mean, he was the true personification of royalty on the throne. When you think about Leos, Barack Obama, you know what I'm saying? These people are like the stars of the show. Jennifer Lopez, you know what I'm saying? We talking about big stakes, big money, the kings and the queens, some of the best to ever do it. Like, y'all gotta respect them. If I have one thing to say about Leo, if there's one tip I have for Leo, believe in yourself. You were gifted a position in life that is going to require you to believe in yourself when nobody else, when you believe no one else does. You are your worst critic. You are your biggest detractor from achieving your goals. This was your birthright. Nobody else in the Zodiac spectrum can stop you from what you were born to do. This is your birthright for you to be able to achieve greatness and to sit on your throne. So if you haven't arrived there yet, it's because of you. You were in your own way. You know, get out of your own way. Stop letting the thoughts in your mind consume you. You are royal, and it is what it is. You were meant to be that. Whatever hiccups or hangups that you have are solely because of you. You got to let that shit go. Let it go. Let it go.